either crane behind it. The puppets rounds aimed at people. There are big OC canisters as well. You can see the police officers have now made a kind of corridor all the way around it, and are slowly trying to push everyone out of this camp.
There was something fundamentally wrong happening out there. This wasn't happening in some far-off dictatorship somewhere. People were being brutalized because they were exercising their constitutional rights in North Dakota.
What's wrong with you? You're supposed to protect us!
And then Veterans for Standing Rock popped up, and they said they were going to go. And a lot of veterans, like myself, couldn't not go. The young woman whose arm was all but severed by a concussion grenade, another young woman who lost an eye to a rubber bullet, we weren't just going to stand by and say, that's okay.
That pretty much set a lot of people off. I think it definitely set off a lot of veterans.
That's an enemy that's domestic. And it was, there's no way I can't not go and stand there and put me on the line the way that these people are putting themselves on the line. We swore that we were going to do that.
It's been a really nice welcome after spending over 24 hours in the bus trying to get here. It's cold. It's not as cold as we thought, but it's going to be nice to get something to eat and, well, pretty much get bedded down for the night.
Introduce yourself. Philip George. The Philip George.
Gavin?
Yes, so the first people, so that means that we're going to follow the instruction. This is peaceful. Whoever, and I've had to check myself a couple of times too, everybody in the world is watching. You know what I'm saying? And this is Rosemary and Rodney. The world is watching. The world is watching us now.
Is that all media?
Yep, that's what it looks like.
Okay then.
I think we're going to get some coverage.
Before Veterans for Standing Rock announced their deployment, there had been virtually no mainstream media coverage of the water protector struggle. It wasn't until December 2nd, 2 days before we were scheduled to arrive, that the first satellite truck appeared in Oceti-Sakhalin. By the time we got there on December the 4th, every major news agency in the country had a presence in camp.
They just denied the permit.
What?
They just denied the permit.
That same day, the Army Corps of Engineers denied the permit that would have granted the Dakota Access Pipeline permission to drill under Lake Oahe, the first stepping stone toward drilling under the Missouri River. But the timing was no accident.
It was like they were expecting the veterans to come, and yeah, we were pulling up, and that announcement, it didn't feel like truth to me.
Most people understood that the Corps of Engineers' decision was political. The government and oil companies behind the Dakota Access Pipeline couldn't afford the media firestorm that would have happened when national news agencies televised veterans being brutalized the way the water protectors had. The fact that there were problems on the ground became apparent as soon as we stepped off the buses. Veterans for Standing Rock had closed the roster at about 2,100 people. More than 4,000 showed up. With temperatures expected to drop into the teens that night and no guaranteed shelter, the decision was made to return to Eagle Butte until the housing situation could be resolved. But some people decided to stay and make do with whatever shelter could be found.
It is frigid as cold. I mean, we're talking cold. I almost had to go back with the van or the bus. They both got stuck. There's fireworks going off now, if you might have heard that. Everyone wants to have a conversation with you and know who you are and share part of themselves with you. It's really powerful. I lost everybody. I'm by myself right now, but I do have a place to stay tonight. Sleeping with 2 other dudes in a 2-man tent. So that'll be fun. I'm not sure if I'll sleep much tonight.
We were given a fantastic welcome by the Standing Rock elders at the Prairie Knights Casino. But now that the easement had been denied, they made it clear that our job was over. That afternoon, they sent out a press release asking all of us to go home.
So why y'all gonna leave so soon? How many? You only stayed one night. You trying to leave?
Yeah, well, they're calling us all back, all those veterans.
No, it's a trick. That's what they want. They want all of our support to leave.
Behind me here, you can see or maybe you can see the casino where the ceremony was. And we got one bus stuck. We got another on the way. We got people scattered all over the place. So it's gonna be a fun day.
In Ochetushkoan, the veterans continued the mission to stand in solidarity with the water protectors regardless of the conditions. There was basically no communication between the camp and the casino. Cell phones in the camp did not work. The radios that were supposed to be set up didn't get set up. So we had no idea what was actually happening in camp other than the fact that we knew our people were there, but we weren't sure if they even had shelter. So our concern was trying to find a way to get them out.
We are now snowed in at the casino here in Cannonball. The buses are grounded, they can't move. So we'll be here for however long that lasts.
It's whiteout conditions. It looks like some volunteers in the hundreds are going 10 to 10 to make sure that people are all right. If something goes wrong with your shelter, you're in a lot of trouble.
Being at the casino was surreal. The Standing Rock tribes were celebrating the easement being denied, so there was that atmosphere, but there were also more and more people coming in who were refugees from this increasingly dangerous blizzard, and we still didn't know what was happening.
During the blizzard, I decided to find a ride down to the campgrounds to try to locate the man that was out without his medication. It was really hard to be down there because it was so cold and I couldn't find him. And it was -62 wind chill factor.
We're still snowed in at the casino. We're trying to find out what's going on right now. We got our people that were stuck out at Ocheti, confirmed that everything was okay for them last night, and working on getting them out of there. Later that morning, what became one of the most powerful and talked about events of the Veterans for Standing Rock mission occurred.
We came, we fought you, we took your land, we signed treaties that we broke, we stole minerals from your sacred hills, we blasted the faces of our presidents onto your sacred mountain, and we took still more land, and then we took your children. We've hurt you in so many ways. And we've come to say that we are sorry. We are at your service, and we beg for your forgiveness.
I was glad that that happened. And it really brought a lot of hope.
Some people ask if we accomplished anything going out there. And my answer to that is emphatically yes. Veterans in this country, a lot of the time, are seen as broken cast-offs of wars that did nothing more than make rich men richer. This changed that conversation. Veterans for Standing Rock going out there changed veterans into a force of conscience to do something just because it was the right thing to do.
This is spiritual warfare. All of you were trained for war. And here you are in a war for peace.
The Standing Rock tribes didn't need anyone to come in and save them. They needed people who would stand shoulder to shoulder with them and say, what's been done to you, what's being done to you right now is wrong, and we're not going to stand for it. We will stand with you. There was a sharing that happened between the Standing Rock tribes, the Native Americans, and the veterans that I don't think has ever happened before, and it was a very special thing to be a part of.
Yeah, it was probably the most important thing I've ever done, you know, that I felt like I had ever done in my entire life.
Wow, that helicopter is flying so low, it's like sucking debris up from the ground. The law enforcement personnel that we're looking at right now are visually indistinguishable from soldiers in a war zone.